Hey guys, it's Harrison from Arkanya Games. Some of you know me as Bean Bandit. I've got quite a bit of news for you guys today, and most of it's pretty big. And while I'm going over that, what you're seeing here is multiplayer testing footage. Rob and I recorded this a few days ago, and this is from the new version of the Steam demo. So if you'd like to try that yourself, it is out now, and it's free for everybody. So go check that out on our Steam page. There will be a link to that in the description. So I really wanted to start off with different news, because I don't love this being the main focus. But unfortunately, you kind of need to know this to understand everything that's going to come after. And that is that Arkanya Games has parted ways with our former publisher. So we are now completely independent. We are going it solo. This was something that we mutually agreed to, and there wasn't really any drama behind it. But basically, we had some very different visions for how/when the game should be released, and we decided it would be best for both parties if we just went our own ways. So this happened a little bit over a month ago, and we did debate finding a new publisher for a little bit. We even had a few meetings and discussed potential deals with a few of them, but ultimately we decided that self-publishing was the route to go. The main reason for this decision was that no publisher wanted to get Arkanya released this year. Everybody wanted us to push it back to like mid-2026 to fit into their release schedules, which is totally understandable, but it's just not what we wanted. I mean, the game has been done for a while now. I think we wrapped up our main production in early April? No, actually it was in May. So yeah, we've been done for a minute now, and delaying the release for an entire extra year was definitely not what we wanted. I mean, production has already taken so long, and the idea of it dragging on that much longer, it seemed to be the right choice to us to go solo and self-publish, and ultimately that's what we decided to do. So Rob and I decided that we wanted to get the Steam version out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it will only be the Steam version at first, because we can no longer rely on our former publisher for console porting, and we're going to have to figure out porting on our own. Now, if you are a fan of Arkanya and you're a console gamer, I can understand that you might be a little worried hearing that, but I can assure you that we are still doing console releases as soon as we're able to. The only difference now is that previously we were required to wait until the console versions were done to release on PC. And honestly, very, very little progress had been made on the console ports, and we didn't have any idea when they were going to be done. Now we're free to release the PC version on its own, which is great because that means we can get it out a lot sooner. I know at first it might sound like we're delaying the console versions. Really more what it is that previously everything was being delayed, but now we don't have to delay the PC version. And it did not make sense to me or to the team to make our PC players wait around until we got all of the porting issues solved. So we're just going to go ahead and get that released and then figure out everything else from there. Now, console players, I know that's still not very likely what you wanted to hear, and I really do regret that. I wish we could have made the console porting process faster, but unfortunately we had no control over it, and we were kind of in the back of the line behind several other games that were being ported by the same group, and now we have more control over that, and we can find a partner who is ready to go and wants to get the porting process done as soon as possible. But also, we are currently brainstorming ways that we can sort of make this up to our console players to make the situation a little bit better for them, make it not suck quite so much. I don't know what that's going to be yet. We need to figure out what we actually have the ability to do for you guys, but we'll keep you updated on that. And ultimately, I think doing the split release this way is going to result in a better product for the console players when the console ports do finally come out, because this is going to give us an opportunity to get the game in front of actual players, not just our internal testers, but actual players, and figure out everything that we can do to improve the game and make sure that it's a very stable experience, and essentially make sure all of the possible issues are worked out before it gets onto consoles. Now, let's say you're flexible about the platform that you want to play on. Let's say that you order the game for like Nintendo Switch because you thought that was going to be the best platform to play it on, but you have the option to play it on Steam and you don't want to wait for the console release. We are absolutely going to be allowing people to make that switch if they want to. In fact, several people already have requested to be swapped from the console version to the PC version. And if you contact us, either email us at arkanyagame@gmail.com, or you can message us through Kickstarter if you backed on Kickstarter, or you can come into our Discord and DM me there. As long as you can show us that you have the pre-order for, whatever version you did order, we can swap that over to the version that you want, and that's super easy, takes no time at all. We just need to know. Alright, so let's get to some better news. So we will be announcing our release date this month in July. That is absolutely going to happen. I really wish we could have done it a lot sooner, so we could have had it lined up with a major Steam event, but the situation was complicated, and we didn't used to have as much agency over this as we do now. So basically, we're just waiting to hear back about a little more info we need, and then depending on how that goes, we may just go ahead and release the trailer right then and there. At this point, we know that the release announcement won't align with a major event, but we're trying to find out if the release itself will, so that we can lock in an exact day. So we're definitely going to be relying on our network of fans and indie contacts to help spread the word about our release announcement, and hopefully gain enough wish lists off of it to push us over that 10,000 mark. Currently, we're at about 9,200 wish lists, last I checked, so we're not doing too bad. Anything over 10,000 would be fantastic, but 10,000 is the current goal for release. And then the plan is to release on Steam in Q3 of this year. If you don't know when Q3 is, we're actually in it right now. Q3 just started today, by which I mean as of the time that I'm recording this, which is on July 1st. So it's going to be sometime between today and the end of September. In the meantime, aside from marketing the game, I'm trying to squeeze in a key remapping feature before release. That's been something that I've gotten a few requests for. Some people complained that the demo didn't have it. And then when I told some other devs that I was thinking about releasing without it, they hit me with a big yikes. So I thought, yeah, we probably better have it. So I'm going to get that in before launch. And that should speed up the porting process as well, because a part of porting is going to be getting the console-specific control symbols to display on the screen. Instead of what we have right now is if you're using a keyboard, it shows our default keyboard symbols, and if you're using a gamepad, it shows Xbox symbols. And it needs to be updated so that when you rebind a key, it shows the symbol for the key you rebound to. And that the reason that helps with porting is because that'll make it easier to swap out the Nintendo symbols, the Sony symbols, whatever console you're on, it needs to show the symbols for that console. In fact, I think for all of the major consoles, that's actually a requirement for even releasing your game on there. Definitely for Nintendo. So I'm going to be spending the next week or two getting that set up. Most of that is going to be menu work. The actual programming side of it is very, very simple, but the fun thing with Unity in particular, but really with all game dev, is that making menus is a huge pain in the butt. And so I'm expecting it to be like 1 day of coding and probably 5 days of just setting up the menu itself. But anyway, lastly, Kickstarter rewards. So a lot of you ordered physical merch, and we need to find a way to get it to you. Back when we ran the campaign, we originally thought that we were going to have publisher support for handling the logistics of all of this, but now it's entirely up to Arkanya Games to handle it, and it's going to be a few hundred packages we have to send out, so that's pretty daunting, but we will get it done. We just have to sort out the resources and the logistics that are going to be required to do it. It's going to be kind of crazy. We'll keep you updated on that, as well as any news we can share on the console ports. But the long story short is, it's still happening. We are still going to get, we're still going to get the Kickstarter rewards out. We're still going to get the console ports out. We're having to learn how to do a lot of this because we were originally expecting to have support that we no longer have, and now all of this falls to me and Rob to handle this. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say on the topic for now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Now that the situation at Arkanya Games has improved a little bit, it's not quite as chaotic as it was earlier this year, and I have a lot more time to focus on things like social media and a lot more freedom to just say what I want to say, right? Because I'm not worried about is this going to screw up any sort of marketing plan that our publisher has? Am I not allowed to divulge this information? We are wholly independent right now, and so the decision pretty much just falls to me and Rob of what sort of news do we want to put out there, what do we want to tell you guys, and you know, I like to tell you as much as I realistically can. So ideally, I'm going to start making these video updates a more regular thing. If I can figure out what's wrong with my webcam here, we could even get myself on camera a little bit for some of them. But regardless, I will keep you guys updated. Make sure you stay in the loop on what's happening with the merch, what's happening with the console ports, definitely what's happening with the Steam release, because that's going to be news about that's going to be coming very soon. And if you have made it this far into the video, then thank you for listening, and I hope you'll all come watch again next time. If you haven't done it yet, please wishlist Arkanya on Steam. Link is going to be in the description. Bye.